Inform everybody that this is not about the right or the left anymore. It's about freedom, and I'd like Russell Brand to give a few thoughts out there to everybody about the subject.
I'm right wing now. Let's talk about how right wing I am and why I'm right wing by telling you the things I actually believe in and my real views on how society should be organised. And we'll see how right wing I am. Hello there, you 4.9 shimmering miracles. As they decline, we continue to grow stronger, brighter, more capable of reasoning with one another, more capable yet of accepting the differences between us as we come together to face our true opposition. Thank you for your subscriptions. I see the numbers growing. Thank you for your comments. I read them. Also, though, I became aware that I was trending as a result of the ongoing Joe Rogan farrago, where Joe Rogan controversies are promoted to the forefront of the news cycle. One aspect of this story was the publication and circulation of a sort of a meme that sort of talked about Joe Rogan's guests and their political biases. And I noticed that, oh, Russ, me, the person who I live inside of, whose voice I use when I talk, Russell Brand, that's who I am, is featured on there, has been on Joe Rogan 3 times. Fine, sure, I remember those occasions. But as a right-wing guest, how am I right-wing? How can people say that? Now, I know loads of you watching this are right-wing. I imagine some of you are left-wing. I imagine many of you are so disenfranchised with modern politics, the modern media, the relationships between media, big business and government, the ineffectualness of democracy, the lies that are continually told in the media, that you no longer identify with any particular political party. What it seems to me that's really being criticised here is that a lot of people have become disenfranchised with what were once regarded as left-wing parties, because the left-wing parties aren't doing enough for ordinary people. And if it were true that a person that was once left-wing has become more sympathetic to conservative narratives, well, if that were true of me, and actually I don't actually think it is, because I think I'm way to the left of any government party anywhere in the world, actually, because I believe in spirituality and solutions that are entirely different and new models that are not contained within those institutions. But if there is a trend towards the popularity of right-wing media, my God, it's a broad one. Listen to this. Recent data from Nielsen MRI Fusion shows that Tucker Carlson's 9 p.m. ET program was the top cable news show among Democrats in the advertiser coveted range of 25 to 54. Of those demo-aged viewers surveyed who identified as Democrats, 39% chose Fox News, 31% chose MSNBC, and 30% chose CNN for programming from 8 p.m. I do watch Tucker sometimes. I've really enjoyed his recent videos on why we shouldn't go to war, for example, where on CNN you'll hear pundits wheeled out, often who have vested interest in going to war, to tell you that there should be a war. I'm anti-war. If anti-war makes me right-wing, then I guess I'm right-wing. I don't agree with Tucker on identity politics. I don't agree with Tucker on the issue of homelessness. I see some stuff on that channel. I think, God, that is not me at all. You know, when I spoke to Matt Taibbi on my podcast, Under the Skin, he said, we have to read everything. We have to read as much as we can. We can no longer trust any news source. Any. I guess that has to even mean me, right? We have to look at a variety and decide for ourselves what we think and feel, because we've all had unique experiences and we can't afford lazy labels. Like being right-wing or left-wing, that just used to be a thing. Now it's like a sort of an attempt to smear, slander and take someone down. I know what this is. I've been in the media a long time. This is an attempt to say you can't trust Russell Brand, Russell Brand's unreliable, Russell Brand's a right-wing figure, and to manage those figures. I mean, this is pretty much the same as when they produced that list of doctors, half of whom were vets. Now they're producing a list of right-wing guests, and one of them is me. Well, let me tell you some things I believe in. I believe that big tech companies should be really strongly regulated and broken down. I believe that massive companies should pay their taxes in the countries that they make money from. I believe that public health workers, firefighters, police officers, people that do jobs that put their own lives on the line should be properly paid, properly supported, properly trained. I believe that the most vulnerable people in society, the mentally ill, drug addicts, the vulnerable, should be looked after and taken care of. I believe that small businesses should be given every opportunity to thrive. I believe that communities should be run by the people that live in them, and however you identify, sexually, racially, religiously, that's your business, your right. You should be whoever you want to be. That all of us should allow one another to be who we are and get on with it. And that we should have a media that tries its best to give us plain facts and allows us to sort it out among ourselves through plain, honest, open discourse, not elevates and amplifies particular the narrative, to turn us against one another so that they continue to profit from their relationships with Big Pharma and big business while we're squabbling among one another. Here on this channel, we're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to continue to tell you the truth because we trust in your ability to judge for yourself what's real and what's true, which voices are out to support you and which voices are out to get you. You know, like, so when there was stories about me being an anti-vax person, like, as I always say on this channel, your life is your life. I believe in the sacredness of life. Surely the point of the vaccines and the lockdowns and all of that is because life is sacred. Life is beautiful. We have to protect one another. We have to protect the most vulnerable people. I'd like to see more regulations in favour of us all looking after one another and taking care of one another and supporting one another and managing the tension between freedom and responsibility in an open, transparent and clear way. What I've spoken about in the videos on our channel, prepared by a brilliant team of people with diverse ways of identifying and a diverse set of views, is to present to you what my concerns are about ongoing mandates and the removal of democracy. And as I always say to you, forget the subject in this particular instance. It might be vaccines, it might be something to do with technology. Notice what that law could do in the future. You might agree with this particular issue. You might be a person who wants everybody vaccinated. You might be a person who wants nobody vaccinated. That's up to you. That's your opinion. I don't know more than you. I don't think I know more than you. Let me tell you some ways I'm different from the mainstream media. I don't think I know more than you. I don't know what your life's been like. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what you've suffered, but I'm open-hearted to hearing from you. And another thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to control you or trick you. I trust that you'll come to the right conclusions yourself if you're given the right information. So I've got no interest in saying people need to be controlled because I'm not pessimistic about human beings. I believe that human beings are fundamentally beautiful. You are fundamentally beautiful, not others, you. I believe you are fundamentally beautiful. If you're encouraged, if you're in a good set of social relationships, if your voice is heard, you're a good person, and that goodness will come to the forefront. Another thing that I don't believe is that ordinary working class people are fundamentally bad. It became clear to me around the time of Trump and Brexit and various other populist movements and their rise that there's a whole class of media professionals that dislike ordinary working people and are looking for opportunities to vent against them and condemn them. I think the political class that calls themselves the left, whether they operate within media or within politics, should really have a good look at themselves as to why working ordinary people of all racial identities and religions are more drawn to parties that have been typically and historically allied with the interests of big business. And instead of pointing out individuals in the public eye, oh, this person did this person did that, even though I could not be more sympathetic to the rights of minority groups, instead of focusing solely on that, focus on where is power actually. And the reason they don't do that is because the media are part of that structure. You know that the media cannot be honest about the relationship between the government, big tech, big business, big pharma, big food, and themselves because they are all participants together. You know that the mainstream media can't report on data capture accurately because they participate in data capture. They can't report on big pharma accurately because they accept money from big pharma. This is stuff you know. We've shown our working out. Everything we say on this channel, we say with evidence to back it up after diligent research by a team of hard-working people. That's the only reason we leave the ads on, because we've got to pay these guys, for heaven's sake. Let's have a look at some of the videos